Welcome to the Unshakeable Talks with me, Katy Schweiger. This is where we lift the lid on what entrepreneurs are really going through. The struggles, the myths, the mistakes, and the things we've been sold to. This is where we talk about how we balance business and life. This isn't another podcast teaching strategy. This is where we talk about the raw, real truth about female entrepreneurship and what it really means to run a business and life and combine both of them together. Running a business as a woman isn't harder, it's just different. And it's time we talk about this. There is no cap on what we can achieve, because behind every business, there's the stuff no one dares to talk out loud. You're gonna absolutely love today's episode. Today, we're gonna speak to Remi, a brand strategist, a creative director, and the founder of Disruptive. Remi has just recently done an amazing event and has generated 150k income in the last 6 weeks. You really do not want to miss this episode. Today we're welcoming Remi, a brand strategist and creative director and founder of Disruptive. Hello, Remi. Remi loves a glass of bubbly, so this is how we're going to start today's episode. Cheers. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So Remi, you're the founder of Disruptive. So let's start in a disruptive way. What people don't know about you and me is that we actually know each other very well. And I have seen your progress of your business from the very start, I would say. So tell us a little bit about from where you come from and where you are now with your business.
So 6 years ago, I was working in London in a agency and hating every single day of my life. And honestly, I was looking for a way out, but just didn't know how to actually get out. And then COVID happened, I got made redundant, and my whole life just flipped upside down in the space of probably a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I was generally so scared because I didn't have any safety net or anything. But there was this tiny feeling inside of me that knew it was time. It was time to actually do the thing that I wanted to do for years.
Came at the right time, didn't it, for you?
Massively.
It didn't look like it.
No.
And I remember actually that time. I remember how you felt. And I remember the doubt which came with it. But and I think a lot of people can relate to this, because sometimes we are pushed into a situation which seems absolutely undoable and thinking oh shit, what am I going to do now? And you were also, you're still young, but at the time you were even younger.
Yeah.
So it was scary, wasn't it?
So scary. And the whole online business, I had no idea. Mm-hmm. I looked up to, say, my brother, but it was a complete different industry. And I didn't know how to start, what I should be doing, what I was good at, how to actually make any money online. And then one thing led to another.
How did you start? What was if someone listens to this and thinks, oh my God, this is me, I really want to do. And there's many people who see you as a total inspiration out there. There are, believe me, I've spoken to many of them. So if there was someone out there who's listening to this and think, oh my God, this is me, but how did you start? How did you get yourself from this point of thinking, shit, what's next? Almost like losing your whole identity and having that dream and wanting to build this. But what was the first step or the next step for you to take?
I went and worked in an agency online. So I was almost rather than going straight into my own business, I then went underneath someone else, but as a freelancer. And I think that experience was so important, because then I got to realise how many things I wouldn't do that she was doing, all the love, but it was just so many different things. Again, I was put back into that box. I was drawing back inside of the lines. And so I then basically said, I'm going to just start getting another social media client, got a social media client. And then from there, that person recommended someone else, that person recommended someone else. I then got a team member, done that way too early, made a lot of mistakes, which we could probably talk on. And then, one thing led to another. And I came into the industry as a social media manager. Didn't really like that, went into coaching, realised I didn't really like that either. And now I'm back doing pretty much like the service provider, but also doing it in like complete alignment to what I want to be doing with the whole creative direction, and like doing it from the heart versus doing it from what I thought would make me money.
I remember a conversation we had, I don't know if you remember it, but you said, I asked you, what is it you really want to do? And you said,
What did I say?
You said, I just want to teach, Katy.
Oh.
That's what you said to me. I don't know if you remember this.
No, I don't.
Probably not. But you were doing the social media management.
And personal training.
Yeah. And I think you were doing really well with the social media management.
Yeah, I was doing well, but there was not like the passion. And I wasn't behind it. Like, I was thinking I was still such a baby.
But money was coming in.
Yeah.
So and actually, I think this is a really good point. When money comes in, it's so hard to actually go with your heart and what you know aligns with you, because you're leaving something behind. And I think you've done a post about this actually when you made this shift. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
From shifting from the social media management to a coach, I had no idea what I was doing. And I feel like this is the whole conversation of, I don't think anyone has any idea, but you just learn as you go.
Yeah.
Like, I was on one of these shoots and someone said, how do you know how to do all these projections and these lights? And I was literally like, YouTube. Yeah. And it's kind of, so many people think you have to know everything to start doing it, but you don't. Like, you can literally put one foot in front of the other and just start going with it. And so that's exactly what I done. I created a membership. I then created a group program. I then started like falling in love with teaching and started like coaching more people. But what I actually realised after, I don't know, however many years, is that I let go of everything that I love the most. And that is actually to be a creative, like to create art from like the get-go, to do all these different things that doesn't make sense, but actually it makes so much sense.
And if anyone saw you at any event speaking, they know where this roots from. But let's touch up on this a little bit within this episode. Where does this come from? Where does this holding back and this drawing in the lines, what you just mentioned, come from?
It comes from when I was like 6 years old and I was in reception and I got given a project to draw the fish, and the fish, aka Florence the fish, has now become literally my brand story. And it's all about, I wanted to draw outside the lines and I wanted to become Fiona and just let myself free. But I'd done that and handed in the project to the teacher and she completely ripped me apart and was like, what is this? This is not what I've asked you to do. And so from that moment going forward, I was taught that the more I drew inside the lines, the more validated I would be. And that literally followed me through my entire journey, always wanting to like get praised, get validated, be enough, fit inside of the box, do the office suite how you should have an office suite. And then I've realised how much that was actually keeping me back because I wasn't being true to myself.
It's that blueprint, isn't it? And I must say I fell into this trap massively. Like the whole coaching and online industry for me is very new because I'm always used to be a face-to-face kind of person. And this is something I really struggled with, is this blueprint. You have to create XYZ, which feeds into XYZ, which feeds into your next offer. And then you can launch this. And I was always like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And my hate is creating a PDF document. I mean, I've said that many times. I can't bear to create a PDF document because no one freaking looks at it either.
No, and it's not your skill set.
No.
And I think that's where so many people, again, I think everyone falls into it, is that you feel like you have to do everything. But doing everything actually really keeps you capped. Because what can actually take someone 20 minutes can take someone, or could take me 4 hours. And like vice versa for something else.
Yeah, I completely agree with it. That's like coming like to the realization where to outsource and where does it make sense to actually spend money.
Yeah.
And that I would like to actually at this point come back to when you said you hired a team member and the mistakes you've made on this. Would you like to share a little bit about this?
I actually like have so much to say. And again, no one really taught me this because I was led to believe growing up, looking at the typical like corporate industries that you have like managers and then CEOs and then it's the perfect way to be. And so I thought I'd be really cool and hire someone as a full-time employee. And everyone told me, you sure? Are you sure? Because it's not that easy, like, to get rid of people, and they have a lot of rights, and like you have to make sure the work's coming in. And I was just, again, I feel like sometimes this skill does wonders for me, and sometimes it does the opposite in terms of I don't care, I'll just work it out. And so I didn't care and just worked it out, and it was great. She was amazing. She was like, she's absolutely still smashing it. And it wasn't until one social media client left, then the next, and all of it just got taken away from me overnight. And I was in that moment thinking, oh shit, I have a full-time team member that I have to keep paying her wage. You can't just get rid of them easily. And yeah, I think I'm so glad I did it, because if I didn't, I would have done it probably later on. But yeah, there's nothing better than freelancers, contractors, and when it's the right time to shift, then shift.
It's a different motivation behind it, isn't it, when you work with freelancers? And I definitely made this mistake. Nowadays, in my business now, I will never, ever employ someone again.
Yeah. I think there's a time and a place when it's right.
Absolutely.
But when it's right. Not when you're like a year in and think you're cool.
So Remi today is not a social media manager. Remi today is known as the disruptor. And many people who will be listening to this will only know you as this, because you've made such a big impact. And I say this as almost like a proud mummy. I know I'm not your mummy, but the development of your business, of you personally, was immense. And the work you're doing is great. And we work together as well. So, and there's a reason why we work together, because you are just great. But what I really like to ask you is, obviously, you turning ordinary brands into disruptive brands. For that, you need to be pretty disruptive, and your creativity needs to be on steroids all the time. How do you get to this point? How are you so creative and so, like, how do you achieve your creativity to be so reliable?
That's such a good question. It's listening to my heart. Like, it really is. And I've realised when I'm too busy or when I'm doing the wrong things, again, like doing tasks that I shouldn't, my creativity just drops. And so I've massively realised this even like this past 5 days, being around like other creatives as well, almost like injects you with that frequency. And also going outside, like I went to this really beautiful hotel, and like on the walls there was all this 3D art, and I was like, whoa. And then from there I started thinking about this brand and that brand, and it's allowing yourself to actually step outside an office versus just looking at the same walls all the time, and also looking outside the box. Like I feel like that's just a skill that I never again realised I had until even probably about a year ago. I could see someone and then have them talk about their brand, and then start seeing all these like visions flying around your head, and just like it's always disruptive. Like that's something I always say on these shoots, like how can we make it more disruptive? How can we make sure that there's like fire canisters or like the projectors, or we're literally setting fire to some of the pieces of paper, because that's the stuff that will disrupt a feed.
I definitely have experienced this, because we had many discussions about my branding and what I'm all about, and I can hands on heart say you probably was at this point as well yourself. We don't tend to see who we are really ourselves. No. We need people around us to kind of pinpoint certain things and to really sometimes shake us and say, actually, 100%. This is where the unshakable comes in, doesn't it? And that's, you said to me, Katy, this is you. And like, this is where the idea was, and the phrase was born, the unshakable woman.
That's actually crazy how much that's come around from that conversation.
It is, hasn't it?
Yeah, like, oh wow. Like that one conversation led to that, to Diamonds, to the Unshakable Talks, to everything else.
I had to talk to my husband the other day, and it feels like I've been working on this for years, but it hasn't been that long.
And this is where, like, when you're so embodied into the brand that you're meant to be doing on this planet, one thing will go to another, and literally in the space of weeks, you'll look back and you'll have this entire brand because you're so, like, it's yours. It was always yours. I do think that everyone's brand's out there for them in their, like, future, and you just have to go out there and get it. That's why I feel like when people find it, it's like a feeling that you can never, ever even describe, because it was always yours.
But it is a gift what you have to tell people like me and everyone else what is ours.
Yeah, it's like a mirror. I do agree. It's like I still need a mirror held up for me.
Yeah.
I hold the mirror up for others. Sometimes you just need to see, one, what it is, and two, how creative it can be, and three, how okay it is to own. Because I feel like that last part, a lot of people don't own it. And if you don't own your brand and become embodied in it, then it kind of just falls flat.
Why do you think that is?
Because it has to involve you being quite brave. And I feel like even with me in this whole Disrupt, there's still definitely places I can take it. But it has to involve you being really brave to be like, I'm creating this brand. It's so unique. It's so different. It's probably going to get judged by the wrong people, but I'm okay. And it's being okay with being disliked.
This is what I wanted to get at, because this is a conversation really close to my heart. And you said earlier, the last 5 days, you've been around you just came back from America, so.
This morning.
This morning, yeah. Thank you for coming here today. But you've been in an environment where everyone kind of is on the same wavelength. Everyone most people support each other. And I preach this as well. It's important to be around this like-minded people, people who get you. But let's be truthful as well and honest here. Especially in the online business, that doesn't always look like we think it should look like. No. It's not always what it says on the cover, doesn't it? So let's talk about that one.
Where do we start? No, I agree. And I feel like this is where, again, why I'm so passionate. I had this conversation so many times this last week with when you are just calling yourself like a typical coach, or you're just blending in to blend in, you're going to get sucked into a lot of negative conversations, and you're going to be influenced by a lot of people all telling you different things, and you should do this, and you should buy this from me, and you should all of this stuff. Before you know it, you've completely lost who you are, which I fell into. I think everyone does fall into. When you're then so behind a brand that you are like, it's only yours and it can only be yours, it's almost like all this outside noise just quietens down. And that's why since I've really lent into Disrupt, I feel like I'm just so far out of the coaching industry that I am creating my own world over here, and it gets to be fun. Like, it gets to be so enjoyable, and I hear it all the time. There's a lot of comments, bitchiness, like this, people selling you, I don't know, anything these days, but you have to really, really listen to your intuition. That's what I'm learning and still in the process of doing that.
It is a learning curve, and I really think it will never stop.
No.
Because also, especially I can say for myself, if you're a person who genuinely sees the good in people, and I'm huge in supporting women, like for me, it's not just a hashtag. I want to create this kind of movement, and almost a bit idealistic, I suppose. And when you have this mindset, you get burned quite a lot. And
massively.
It can be quite disheartening at times, doesn't it?
And do you know what I've realised? Again, this is a big takeaway from this last week, is when you're open and you are quite a people pleaser, you let a lot of people in with a lot of different energies. And if you don't like clock that, your energy dips. And so that's when my creativity dips. That's when like everything becomes so much harder. So it's a consistent like check-in on yourself of, am I letting the right people in or the wrong people in? And is it okay to actually say no sometimes, and being okay to say no?
It is definitely okay to say no. And we all know we struggle with this.
Yeah.
But also the other thing is, within the industry we are both moving in, like the online industry, it's almost like, and the coaching industry, there is a lot of trades going on. Trades of services, a lot of, how would we call it? It's like, which looks like good collaboration, which looks like support. And it may start off like this, but my experience really shows, once someone sees you taking off before them, the cheers are quieting. And the collaboration isn't genuine anymore, isn't honest anymore. And this maybe one conversation you had at one point, one of the sudden, is being completely twisted around and sold as, this was the conversation which made you, which made your success and all of this. And that can be a bitter pill to swallow, because that's frustrating, especially if it doesn't align with your values.
Yeah, I had a lot of like close friends in the industry keep sending me posts, be like, is this about you? Is this about you? I think this is also about you. And they like said to me, how does this make you feel? And honestly, a year ago, it probably would have really knocked me, because in that moment, you can actually put your success in someone else's hands.
Yeah.
But like, no one saw the late nights, the tears, the sleep that I definitely didn't have to even get through like that first event. And so I think because I've done that myself, no one can ever take that away from me. And so that's what I said. We literally had this conversation the other day in terms of let them talk, like literally let them talk.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, if I feel like a lot of people then dip on sales and then use all these client wins to get more clients in. But it's actually, again, it comes back down to if you've got a really good brand that you stand by and people love, and like it's creative and it's unique and it's out of the box and it's one of a kind, you don't need to be relying on like your clients' wins all the time, because you can just let your content do the speaking.
Yeah. And I also think it's very oversaturated, this whole, like, everyone posts about, okay, because she worked with me, she made 150,000. Because she did my course, she 10x'd her income within 2 weeks. No one 10x's their income within 2 weeks by just doing a program or
And
just
no one knows
listening
where they
to
start.
a Telegram channel.
That's what I mean. No one actually says they actually started at 95k and now they're at 100k.
Yeah. It's
Some
not,
people do, like some people are honest, but yeah, I just think you have to be so like checked in terms of what's real and what's not.
Well, this is what I'm here for, because I'm a very honest and real person, and it really, it rubs me up the wrong way. I'm not going to lie. It really frustrates me, because I'm quite a confident person. I've got a great network around me in terms of family, friends, and everyone else who keep me grounded. But it hasn't always been that way. So I know how damaging it actually can be, and how frustrating it can be, and how it can damage your confidence. And it kind of makes me angry.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like this is why this whole brand is only yours and yours only, because when you become unshakable, you can speak about your truth.
Yeah.
And I feel like for you to bring that out in women especially is just genius, because something that maybe have you been used against you growing up, or like it's not okay to be that honest, actually now it's like what everyone needs from you most.
Yeah.
The honesty. I don't know why people don't want to be honest, but again, I think it's easier to just not be honest and stay quiet.
Yeah, I think it's easier to be quiet. I think I think we are conditioned like this. It's like, I mean, we all go to Instagram to see the nice things. We all go to Instagram to watch someone's lovely holiday or the nice outfits they're wearing, the lovely dinner they attended to. No one wants to see someone cry.
And it is hard. Like, it's hard to almost sometimes be vulnerable online. Like, Amanda Francis was one of the speakers at this event, and she was saying she, from day one, has documented when she, I don't know, something happened with her baby, and then something happened with her marriage, and she documented this whole time that now people are just idolised by her. But in that moment, it is quite hard to go online and start crying. But you don't have to as well. You don't have to use your tears to like get people in. I think there's an energy that you can come from that actually makes it more authentic.
Unless you're me, because I cry for everything.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's definitely part of me. But it's true. It's very hard to be vulnerable. And do you think it's also to do with, like, people don't expect you to be vulnerable if you're successful? It's almost associated with failure.
Yeah.
Being vulnerable.
And I feel like that's where there's like a time and a place. And I would never sit here and say to someone like, go online and like cry if you want to be successful, because that's not really what if you want to do that, great. But if you're doing it only to get the likes, then don't do that.
Don't do that.
But I also think that, yeah, I do think it's hard. I think the best thing is to build a personal brand that actually you're showcasing your journey in real time with your audience. And again, it can be hard because you're so in the moment that you forget to actually like document it. But I feel like that's the best way, because people are seeing your growth and then they'll buy into your journey, and then your brand becomes more established. So
the brands you're working with nowadays, they're very, like, from the few I've seen, and I haven't seen all of them obviously, they're very, very different. So I imagine, I'm making assumptions here, but I imagine it to be really hard to really get kind of into each and individual brand. So how do you do it? And you're a busy lady. Like, you're traveling a lot for work as well. You're very sought after. You have a lot of speaking gigs you're going on. So you're busy. So how do you do that? How do you find that creativity within yourself, and to get? And I really feel you give every client like 100% of you.
Yeah, I agree. I do.
You definitely do. Too much sometimes.
Yeah,
in my,
sometimes too much.
in my opinion.
Do you know what it is? It's I could listen to someone talk for like 10 minutes and I could instantly be like, that's your unique selling point there. And you pair that with something really creative, like a brand anchor or some sort of symbol or something. And then before you know it, what you're really well known for has become like this whole moving brand with all the anchors. And it's literally just a unraveling process of one thing goes to the next, goes to the next. And so this is where I say there's so much room for everyone in this space when you have a good brand behind you. Because 500 people could do, I don't know, NLP, but every single one of them, if they lean into what their unique like characteristics are and build that into a brand, that's what people will choose. And I think this is where it's like this misunderstanding online of it's oversaturated, it's this, that and the other. It's not oversaturated, they just like hide behind a brand. When you're so
agree,
behind a brand that's unique, that's you, then you're good. And that's why I feel like I love to get to know my clients, because you could just talk and every single person has gone through something different. You've got like a different story, but different family, different background. And so all of those moving parts can be put together into something unique.
So can we get a bit personal for a second? Let's get a bit personal. So
I don't know what's coming out.
nothing bad, don't worry. But you're traveling a lot. Your business has, I would say, grown quite significantly in the last couple of months. So there has been definitely a huge personal shift, a huge professional shift. And we had conversations about this. How does your family actually cope with this? Because you are not the Remi you used to be a year ago.
No, not even the Remi I was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard. I feel like it is sometimes hard. Like seeing my friends, seeing my partner, seeing my family, like watching my niece grow up. Like there's so many different parts that I have to make sure I'm present in, that it actually did hit me the other day when my best friend's about to have a baby. And I went to a baby shower and I was like, where the hell has the last 8 months gone?
Yeah.
And you're due in October. And in that moment, I was like, oh, shit, I really probably should have spent more time with you. And I said this to her and she's so chilled. She was like, you've been really busy. Like, you've seen me a good 5 times. So I've just like planned stuff in for September. But sometimes you do have to check yourself. But at the same time, sometimes you have to really put yourself like fully into a business. And I'm in that stage. Like the last 2 months have just been busy because I know towards the end of the year, they will slow down.
Yeah.
And it is, it's hard. I feel like I'm still trying to learn that. That's still something I'm still trying to learn, is to spend time, because I've got so many different friendship groups and not all of them get on. So I have to like see different people at different times.
But I think that's good, because I think what the mistake a lot of people make is trying to create this one friendship group who's there for you for every season in your life. And that's impossible. Yeah,
and it is. And I feel like the right friends, what I've realised the last couple of weeks is the right friends will be okay with you being busy. And they'll be really proud of you, like when you come back, and they want to hear about it, and they'll be like, we're good, like we're always going to be here. It's the wrong friends who just, I don't know, it can get really messy.
Yeah, I always say when I start working with a client, the first thing I say is be prepared. Once you start doing something for yourself, your friends will drop like flies.
Yeah. And everyone told me that. I think you probably did tell me this. And I was like, no, they won't. They'll be there. And then it's kind of like 1 friend goes, 2 friend goes. I've been quite lucky because my closest friends I've been friends with since I was like 5. But
they
it's
stick
hard.
around though. My old friends, which I have for 15, 20 plus years, they're sticking around.
Yeah.
I didn't actually, to be fair, I didn't think they would. Yeah. Because they know me completely different.
Yeah. And I do think that it's hard though. I have to sometimes go out with my school friends and I wouldn't be able to sit there and just chat about my whole entire business because they wouldn't care. They love me, but they probably wouldn't want to sit and hear about like branding for 2 hours.
Yeah.
We would chat about, I don't know, some sort of gossip somewhere or like an outfit. And sometimes I have to put different hats on depending on what groups I'm in. But it's actually so nice to go out and not have someone want to always talk about work.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite good. But yeah, I think it's definitely a lesson I'm still learning, is balance.
How's family? Because I find my family they're proud of me, but they definitely don't get what I'm doing.
Oh no.
They definitely don't understand what I'm doing.
No, like.
And it's really hard. And my mum is trying to she's trying to be really supportive, and bless her cotton socks, she's asking about my business and she's asking about the progress and she's asking about this, but I can't explain it to her because I know she won't understand.
And that's where I actually have started to realise that the more misunderstood you are, the better you're doing.
Oh, okay, good.
Like, if you're misunderstood, it means
I'm
you're doing
happy with
something
that
right.
thought.
Yeah, because I've tried to explain, like, so many years to so many people what I do. My dad still thinks I think he thinks I'm an influencer or something. He has no idea. All he says is, how's it going? And I say, good. And he goes, okay then.
Okay.
But yeah, like that. Even like when Dan came to the event, he left the event, he was like, I don't get any of this. And I was like, good.
Good.
You don't. And even like the other day when like Annie brought her partner to Denver, he was like, I just don't really get this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's a hard concept to get 1,000 women in a room together talking about their own business. In America, everyone's flying in from around the world. Everyone wants to make money, which again is not normally a good thing, but it's okay to actually want that.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of years trying to prove my worth to my family in terms of, especially like my cousins, aunties, uncles. It was like the better I do, the more accepted I become, because I was always the younger sibling or younger cousin. And so I always wanted people to ask about my work. And when they didn't, I was like, why? What am I doing wrong?
And did you feel pressure to compete with other family members and their career and what they seemed to have achieved? Like how it looked like to the outside?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like it was more towards cousins. Like, obviously, Katy has his own business, but actually he's always been really supportive. And it was actually quite nice to have that growing up, to see it, because it wasn't always like great. It was definitely a slippery slope, which it always is. But I think it was cousins. I think it was, I wanted them to think of tiny Remi to be successful, because then I would be loved more. And then all this spiraling that went on. And now I've actually realised that that's not true at all. And actually, I don't have to explain myself. And I have overdone it in like family situations or with people's friends, like my friends' boyfriends. I'd go out and they'll be like, what do you do? And I'll go off this whole tangent. And then they'll look at me like I've lost my mind. And so if anyone asks what I do now, I just say marketing.
It's easier, isn't it?
So much easier, just not let your energy out to the wrong people. Because I've come home in tears, like tears and tears and tears, with people being like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, it's Herbalife.
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually really good to realize this, to kind of stop trying to force them to understand, because all it does, it makes you feel shit about it.
Yeah. And do you know what? Even last week, someone said to me, you're trying to be an influencer. And I had to catch that thought before I wanted to react and go, yeah, maybe I am. And they're like, you just always want to keep growing your business. And again, I wanted to react, but then I was like, well, yeah, I actually do.
Well, they wouldn't say this to Apple, wouldn't they?
And that's what I mean. It's kind of when I'm, I don't know, however many years' time, when I'm actually living this incredible life and all this work has paid off, then you're probably going to come and ask me what I'm doing, and then I'll let you know that I'm an influencer.
Yeah, tell them you're an influencer. But, well, you say this as a joke. You're definitely influencing. Your disruptive way is definitely influencing.
That's a good way to put it. Influencing the right people,
It is influencing the right people, and it's influencing a lot of people. And I saw you at your event, and I was really surprised.
So not
not like because I didn't expect you to do well. I knew you're going to do well, but I didn't expect you to do it that well.
No,
like I didn't expect that event to be. I didn't know what to expect, to be fair, but it was just watching little old Remi to being disruptive Remi.
Yeah, it was incredible.
That was amazing.
And I feel like if anyone's listening to this, do an event, because it's not about how many people you might get, or it's not even really about how much you might earn. Obviously all that stuff's great, but it's like to watch someone try on your brand in real time, and for them to become part of the brand identity is everything. Like, I cannot tell you that day how it almost came together. I'm still quite confused, but we got there, we've done it. But actually it's me stepping up. Like, I shifted identity so quickly within hours, and then everyone in that room, and then still the knock-on effect however many weeks later.
You still feel it now, don't you?
Yeah, and honestly, one day has changed my entire life. And so, yeah.
That
everyone
sounds
do an
very
event.
dramatic and very glamorous, but it's true, isn't it? That one decision.
Yeah.
And you said to me, oh, I wasn't even planning to do that event now.
No.
And I kind of felt like, well, a bit of a vulnerable insight, but I've
Yeah, it
always
wasn't.
wanted to do an event, didn't
Yeah.
I? And I love hosting, as we all know, privately, but I've never wanted to do it like for the wider audience. And you were actually the one who kind of pushed me into this and kind of said, come on, Katy, you're really good at this. And you really encouraged me to do this. And that really sparked my journey of like creating an event.
And do you know what I love about your event is how unique it is to you.
Yeah.
No one could do that except for you.
And I'm doing this event like how I wanted it to do. I have a coach, so and I can say I've been definitely advised differently from different people around me, and I count on those people's opinion.
Yeah.
I count on it, like the people around me are a very tight circle, and I value their opinion. But I'm actually quite proud that I still do what I wanted to do because I believe in it. This is what
I think
it's my mission.
And do you know what? Like, you following through and getting over the other side of this and actually having it and seeing the people turn up and allowing them to experience like the Unshakeable brand, it will probably bring you to tears. Like, I still think about that day and I'm like, whoa, that actually happened.
I cried at your event. So can you imagine how my event is going to be?
And that's why, like,
I'm going to have diamond encrusted tissues.
Yeah, but so many people, do you know what, would not follow through? Like, you should so give it to yourself that I know so many people that have had an idea of an event that still lives in their Google Doc. I think no one talks about how hard it is to generally put yourself forward to come offline to do an online event, in-person event. In-person event. But it's brave. I think the bravery is just, it shows how much you care about the people that are going to be there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for this. So what I really want you to do is I want you to give the listeners 2 tips you would tell them if they are listening to this and thinking, how can I, apart from hiring you to create their brand, obviously, I strongly suggest to do that. But if that is not an option for them, what are your top tips on how to really create their brand unique to themselves?
Number 1, I'd say find out what actually is unique to you. I feel like so many people don't actually know what makes them unique. So good luck trying to make a brand if you don't know what makes you unique. So definitely like find out really, because there'll be something within you that you've probably been born with, or you maybe, again, growing up like me, the creativity was always used against me. But it had to involve me like shining a light on myself and being like, oh no, actually this is the thing that your brand is known for. And so I definitely say step 1 is what makes you so unique versus someone else online. Once you've then got that, I feel like I'm going to have to say 3 points.
Okay, go on.
Okay. So then it is about being okay with being disliked. And again, that's really hard, but once you know this thing that's making you unique, it's about, okay, let's set that on fire and make that huge and actually build a brand around that. But with that, you're going to have people that will fall so in love with you, but you're going to have people that think you're probably so weird. And that's okay. And I feel like to hold that is okay. And then, from there, I'll start thinking about names. I always say, what do you want your audience to actually come out with at the other side of it in terms of what result do you get them? And there'll be a word that like just comes to mind, like Unshakeable or Disrupt. And then from there, you can start feeding that into all the symbols. Like, you can have this bigger branch of a brand, and then underneath that can be other offers. And then it's about how do you actually allow your audience to step into the identity of that brand. So like that's something I'm going to be working on a lot more, is like, who is the disruptor?
Yeah.
What actually makes someone unshakable? Because then what you'll find is people won't want to go anywhere else. They'll come to you because they only want to be the unshakable woman.
Yeah.
So about 5 points, but
we take it. Thank you. I would like to end this amazing interview, with the last question. So if you can go back, what would you give your past self? What brutal piece of advice would you give your past self about business?
I feel like I'd come from the mindset and identity lens and then the branded lens. So the mindset and identity lens would definitely be, you are already enough. to have a brand. I feel like so many people think, oh, I'll make a brand when I get to that point, or I'll make a brand when I hit this XK month. And actually, you not thinking that you are already there is the exact thing that's holding you back. And also knowing, again, like leaning into the unknown. Like, you're going to have no idea what you're doing, but that's the fun in it. Like, lean into it. Go fall on your face. Go do an event. And if no one buys a ticket, great. You've still done the event. And then you can go and do it again next time, bigger and better. And then the other side of it is really, really having a brand that is so unique to you, that is not just like the colours and the fonts and that sort of stuff. It's actually, what is your brand known for? Like, how do people think of you, and then what do they think of when they see a logo and they come up with this whole like subconscious branding within their mind because they've just gone off on a whole tangent because they've seen like a lightning bolt, for example. Really lean into that. I wish that I started Disrupt 6 years ago. That actually just made me think, wow, I actually don't even know where I'd be right now. But I actually am so proud of the whole journey. But yeah, I will definitely say, get so well known for a brand now. Get rid of the whole, I have to have like the typical blueprint, the offer suite, the membership, the mastermind, all this stuff that, again, everyone believes they have to have, which there's a time and a place for it. Once you have the brand that you're known for, only once. Don't keep like throwing offers out for the sake of trying to make offers and make money. Build the brand and then make the offers.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this interview. It was lovely. I could have chatted to you for ages, as we know. And if any of you want some or need some disruptive branding advice, go to my show notes and look at Remi's link. Thank you for listening to the Unshakeable Talks, and I've got a very, very special invitation for you today. On the 29th of November, I'm hosting a really special event in London. And this is not another networking event where you've been pitched to. So there's not a sales event dressed in sequence. This is an event where it's all about true connections and true collaborations for female entrepreneurs. And it is about celebrating yourself with people who understand what it means to go for the female entrepreneurship. This is not just a dinner. This doesn't just stop when the last cocktail has been drunk. This is part of my mission to bring together an exclusive group of women who are there to really collaborate and support each other. Head into the link into my show notes to purchase a ticket today.